There is a moment you feel before anyone else notices. A sinking, almost physical, a quiet certainty whispering inside you. I am doing something wrong, even when I'm not. Maybe you are watching this alone, late at night, phone screen glowing in a dim room. If you are here, tell me where you are tuning in from. Because this feeling, this sense of wrongness, often shows up only when the world goes quiet. The hidden pain of always feeling wrong does not begin in adulthood. It begins in the small, ordinary moments of childhood. Moments when your voice was met with correction instead of curiosity. When your excitement was met with criticism. When your mistakes were treated like character flaws instead of learning. When a parent's tone carried more weight than their words. And you learned to scan the air for disappointment before you even spoke. You may not remember the details, but your body does. It remembers the sigh before you finished explaining. The look that made your stomach drop. The impatience that made you swallow your questions. The way love felt tied to performance, to obedience, to being the good one. So your nervous system built a rule to survive. Be careful. Be perfect. Stay small. Avoid being noticed too much. Not because you were dramatic, but because your safety depended on it. That was not weakness. That was survival. And now, as an adult, this internalized shame follows you quietly. In the way you double-check your words even in simple conversations. In the way you over-explain your feelings as if you owe justification for existing. In the way you apologize before you know what for. In the way you brace for rejection even when no one is rejecting you. Has that ever felt true for you? You are not broken for carrying this heaviness. You are carrying old echoes that were never yours to hold. Stay with me. There is a reason this belief took root so deeply. There is a younger version of you behind this feeling. A child who tried so hard to get it right. To avoid the sighs, the raised eyebrows, the sharp tone that made your chest tighten. A child who learned early that love felt smoother when you made yourself smaller. Maybe you grew up with caregivers who were stressed, or perfectionistic, or emotionally inconsistent. Not cruel, just unaware of how deeply their reactions shaped you. Maybe you were the sensitive one, the observant one, the child who noticed tension before anyone said a word. So you adjusted yourself to prevent disappointment. You edited your personality. You filtered your emotions. You became careful with your joy and strategic with your honesty. Some psychologists describe this as internalized shame. Not loud shame. Not the kind that shouts. The quiet kind that whispers. Something about you is off. Try a little harder. Try a little softer. Just try something different. You began to anticipate being wrong even before doing anything at all. And that expectation became a reflex, a guiding force, a kind of emotional gravity. Look at how it shows up in your life now. Someone asks for your opinion. You feel a tiny panic. You rehearse your answer in your mind before speaking. You pick the safe version of your truth. Someone misunderstands you. Your stomach drops instantly. You scramble to explain, to fix, to smooth the air even if you did nothing wrong. Someone seems distant. You assume it is your fault. Your mind creates stories before reality has a chance to speak. If this is you, breathe slowly. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling this way. Your nervous system learned to expect criticism. So now it prepares for it even when the room is warm. Gentle, harmless. That was not weakness. That was survival. You did what you had to do to feel safe in a world that did not know how to hold your sensitivity. Has that ever felt true for you? Stay with me. This feeling has layers, and each one tells a part of your story. There is a moment that happens so quickly inside you that most people never notice it. A tiny flinch, a tightening at the base of your throat, a split second where you brace. Before anything is even said, it is the anticipation of being wrong. Not because you are wrong, but because your body learned long ago that being wrong meant losing safety, losing warmth, losing the fragile sense of peace you worked so hard to maintain. Your nervous system still reacts as if criticism is incoming, even when the room is calm, even when the tone is soft, even when the people around you are not judging you at all. Some psychologists call this shame conditioning, when the body responds to imagined danger with the same intensity as real danger, because the emotional memory lives deeper than logic. Let me show you how this mechanism forms. Children do not just hear words. They absorb tone. They absorb tension. They absorb the emotional temperature of the room. And when a child is repeatedly corrected, dismissed, or treated like their feelings are inconvenient, the body begins to believe I am the problem. My existence disrupts something. So now, your inner world reacts the same way. You overanalyze texts because you fear you said the wrong thing. You replay conversations hours later, searching for mistakes. You apologize too quickly, too often, even for situations outside your control. You hesitate before sharing your feelings because vulnerability feels like a risk you cannot calculate. If this is you, I want you to hear something quietly. Your reactions are not irrational. They are logical responses to emotional patterns your body learned too young to question. That was not weakness. That was survival. And here is the hidden truth. Feeling wrong all the time is not a sign that something is broken in you. It is a sign that someone once made you responsible for emotions that were never yours to carry. Has that ever felt true for you? Stay close. You will begin to see how this pattern shapes your adult world in ways you have never fully acknowledged. There is a way this old wound follows you into adulthood like a shadow you can feel, but never quite turn to face. Not loudly, not dramatically, but in quiet patterns that shape your days. At work, you second-guess simple decisions. You triple-check emails. You hold your breath before sharing an idea because some part of you still fears the tone of disappointment you grew up with. Even when people praise you, a small voice inside whispers, they don't really mean it. You probably missed something. In relationships, you try to be easy to love. You downplay your needs because you fear they will be seen as demands. You read every shift in someone's mood as a sign you upset them. You say sorry instead of "I felt hurt." You choose harmony over honesty, even when honesty would free you. In friendships, you become the understanding one, the forgiving one, the one who never wants to be a burden. But secretly, you worry that one wrong step will make people rethink you. You monitor yourself like you are walking on emotional glass. And in solitude, it becomes clearer. The heaviness you carry is not about who you are. It is about who you had to be. Some researchers talk about core shame beliefs, deep assumptions formed in childhood when criticism or emotional distance became familiar. Beliefs like, "I must be perfect to be safe. My feelings create problems. If something goes wrong, it's my fault." These beliefs do not feel like thoughts. They feel like truth. Automatic, reflexive, woven into your bones. If this sounds like you, see if any of these patterns feel familiar. You feel relieved when someone cancels plans because you worried you'd disappoint them. You struggle to accept compliments without explaining why you don't fully deserve them. You avoid expressing discomfort because you fear being perceived as dramatic or difficult. You replay small interactions as if your worth depends on getting them right. Has any of this ever lived in you? You are not imagining this burden. It is the echo of a childhood where emotional safety was inconsistent, where love felt conditional, where your value felt unstable. Stay with me. There is a softer way forward, and it begins with unlearning what never belonged to you. There is a moment in healing when you realize the shame you carry was never yours. It lived in the tones you heard, in the expectations placed on you, in the reactions of people who could not hold their own emotions. So you held them for them, at the cost of holding yourself. You do not unlearn this all at once. You unlearn it in small, almost invisible ways. Gentle practices that remind your nervous system what safety actually feels like. Try this first. Practice the pause. When the instinct to apologize rises automatically, stop for one breath. Feel the apology forming. Feel the old reflex waking up. Then ask yourself quietly, did I do something wrong? Or do I just feel wrong? This one question can soften years of self-blame. Second, practice naming the smallest truth. Not a confrontation, not a full emotional reveal, just a sentence that honors your inner world. I'm a little overwhelmed. I need a moment. I didn't mean that the way it sounded. This helps your voice return, gently, steadily. Third, try a boundary rehearsal. Say it softly if you need to. I can't take that on right now. Or, I'd like to think about that before I answer. Your boundaries do not make you wrong. They make you real. And here is the identity reframe you deserve. You were not too sensitive. You were over-criticized. You were not wrong. You were raised around people who could not regulate themselves. So you learned to regulate the room. That was not weakness. That was survival. Your body still braces for impact because it remembers what came after your mistakes. But you are not in that environment anymore. You can teach your nervous system a new story. Slowly, gently, without forcing yourself to be fearless. Has that ever felt true for you? You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be whole. And that begins when you stop treating yourself like a problem to fix. Stay with me. There is a gentler ending to this story. Come back for a moment to the first image. You, sitting in a quiet room, light fading, heart carrying a heaviness you could never fully name. The quiet belief that something about you was flawed, that you were somehow born wrong. Now feel the shift. It does not arrive loudly. It arrives as recognition. A small, steady awareness rising inside your chest. I was shaped by criticism, not defined by it. Picture yourself standing near a window, evening settling softly outside. The glass cool beneath your fingertips. Your reflection calmer, clearer, less burdened. For the first time, you see the real you beneath the layers of self-doubt. Not the child who tried to be perfect, not the adult who over-explains, but the human who survived emotional climates that would have crushed someone less sensitive. You begin to understand something important. Feeling wrong was never your identity. It was a role you adopted to avoid losing connection. It was a shield, a strategy, a way to stay safe in rooms where warmth felt unpredictable. You were never the problem. You were the one trying to solve problems you did not create. You are allowed to release that now, to step out of the reflex, to speak without rehearsing, to exist without apologizing, to take up space without shrinking first. Healing does not mean you will never feel the old pangs of shame. It means you will recognize them as echoes, not truth. You can build a life where calmness replaces caution, where connection does not require self-erasure, where softness does not feel like danger, where your voice is not something to edit, but something to honor. If this sounded like your story, write one word below, a word you needed as a child. Maybe heard, maybe safe, maybe enough. Let that word be a seed, a quiet promise to yourself that the cycle ends with you. And before you go, share this quietly with someone who carries the same invisible weight, someone who apologizes for existing, someone who deserves peace more than perfection. You are not wrong. You never were. You are finally learning to see yourself without the old shadows. And there is something beautiful waiting on the other side of that truth.